You want the whole story? I'm going to give you the whole story. In my first video, I said I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but now I'll tell you the whole story. Because now I'm recovered and I have more time to talk about the whole picture. So, when this happened, it happened from a similar chemical imbalance that stirs it up for everybody. But it could happen quickly. This all started for me because I had these deep thoughts that led me to slowly become detached from myself, and then everything looked fake, and I was questioning it to the point where, I had the classic symptoms of derealization, depersonalization. I'm at a part-time job. I was going from gym to gym, so I still kept my other job in the gym as a personal trainer, but I was also a teacher during the day of physical education, so I was pretty occupied. And I was in a band, going to studios, playing drums, and recording musicians in my home studio. After that was done years later, came out with a few albums. I mean, derealization and depersonalization that happened to me when I was 16 years old would cross my mind for maybe a second or two, or maybe 5 seconds for remember that, but it would never really stick, and it would say, I didn't want to think about it anymore. And that just never came back to hit me until I had a lot of time to think, too much time to think, around 2013. My work became a little bit less. I had one less job at one point. I got rid of my second job in 2008. But by 2013, I might have had a good year and a bad year at the same time, because I had too much time on my hands for whatever the reason was. And what happened was, started thinking again about all these philosophy things. Spent too much time alone. Don't spend too much time alone with your thoughts. Get out of your head. Don't live inside your head. A good friend of mine told me that once also. Stop living inside my head. He also saw that moment. Thinking too much. He sees me sitting there thinking. Some people got that, figured that out about me, and some people never knew how much pain I was in, because I always suffered from depression. I was always prone to this intrusive stuff, like a obsessive compulsive, which is actually a disorder that we call OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. I didn't even know I had this, but this is what I'm doing. I might not have the type that, you're organizing stuff constantly and cleaning and all. I don't have that type of OCD, though it does happen sometimes. I get very, very into organizing things. But let me tell you, the intrusive thoughts, which is also a form of OCD, where you just keep thinking about the same thing over and over again. It's playing like a freaking song in your head all day. It's like similar to that, where you just can't stop thinking about it, obsessing about whatever you're obsessing about. The problem for me it was about philosophical things. And one day when I had a little stress, and I had a little bit too much time to think, and at the same time I was getting anxiety about something else. I never had not really known for anxiety. I've had for too long, not treated, no medical help, kept it to myself. And this is before people spoke about naturally what we do to get well is mental health awareness. And we're in a society now that should have no shame, and we don't anymore, which is good, to get help. So the time was 36. I went too long without it. And when these thoughts started hitting again, when I had too much time to think, too much anxiety in my life in general, not panic attacks, never got that, but too much anxiety-based, intrusive, thinking thoughts over and over, and different things I had to take care of, and other things in my life, like stressors. They call that stressors when you have things that, bring on stress. It could be anything. It could be a job. It could be, it could be just your family life, or something that's going on in, a relationship, or just a project, or anything that you're doing. If you don't de-stress, or you don't take it easy, and, even though you don't have panic attacks, if you're not known for panic attacks, like I wasn't known for that, you're still generally building up a slow panic, an anxiety that you don't even know you have. This constant feeling of tightness, which is not healthy. or distract myself from the thoughts, or occupy my mind again real quick, or do what I used to do and try to do it the way I used to do it. But it wasn't working because my mind had such strong obsession about the other feeling of how things look strange, and kept questioning it and kept being negative. Cognitively, I was just on another level now of just everything was gloomy, gloom and doom and dark depression that comes with the anxiety. The psychiatrist said, my psychiatrist said, that sometimes anxiety leads to depression, or the depression leads to anxiety. The order of the way your brain works, like you're depressed, and then it leads to anxiety. It leads to, like, the other feeling, it kind of mixes together. The order is different for everybody, it's different. But the bottom line is the result is similar. We get more and more spaced out, detached. If we're prone to derealization, depersonalization, especially like I was when I was 16, I had that short episode, 2-week episode of it. This was bound to happen because I didn't get help all those years. 20 years later, it finally happened. Unfortunately, I had a breakdown and it stuck. So, should have been medicated before that at some point, but I wasn't. My whole family was telling me that. Even my own wife was like, I knew this was going to happen to you. I knew you since you were young. You always had these thinking problems. I used to call them thinking problems. But then when I finally started taking something from prescribed from a psychiatrist, a good one, that figured out the right medication for my brain, the way my brain works, the bottom line is it started relieving me of my anxiety and depression. Little by little, that faded, started feeling like myself again because my feel-good chemicals came back, which eliminates negative thoughts also, because it just happens to be like that. Because when you're depressed and you have anxiety and you're depressed, usually you're thinking negative thoughts. It's just the way the order goes, because unfortunately negative thoughts are painful, so you're giving yourselves all kinds of chemical imbalance and pain. I mean, it all goes hand in hand. Hurts your chemical balance even more, raises cortisol and stress. That's the stress hormone, damaging hormone. It even hurts your body. This shit is just an overall bad health crisis. Who needs to feel this shit? My psychiatrist said, no one needs to be in pain. No one deserves this. There's medicine there, and he's going to give it to me. And if I don't try anything, I'll remain this way in this chemical state. And that scared me. I said, I'm going to remain this way. It's like, you need medicine. You need to get well. He prescribed me what I needed. He was great. He saved my life. He fucking saved my life. Because when I started feeling better, after a few weeks, the antidepressant starts working. So I'm having a little side effect. I called him up. Am I supposed to? It's like, that's just a temporary one. He walked me through it. Nah, that's nothing. Anyway, he said, would you rather be in pain and have this derealization, this pain, this overwhelming thing forever, or would you rather just have a little side effect? Try the medication. It's worth the try. Anything's better than having this derealization, right? So you got a point. So he was on the phone with me. He said, just keep taking it. I said, yeah, but it's making me a little tired. He's like, no. That'll go away. Your body's going to adjust to it. And when your body adjusts to it physically and mentally, then it smooths you out. Just keep taking it. He said, it's not a major thing. You're a little tired right now, but you're going to get adjusted. Yeah, worked with him. That was the right medication. Eventually it got... be as knowledgeable, get the right psychiatrist, and things will work out. My story is, I like the light stuff, thinking about in a light way, a light perspective, not a deep thinking perspective anymore. That's what this therapist taught me, how to think less deep. That was the kind of therapist I needed. It was just, some people, they just click. It fits you like a glove if you get the right therapist. So try different therapists till you find the right one. The right one for me just happened to be the one that helped me laugh it off. And make me realize, are you serious? This is a stupid thought. This is all bullshit. And kind of was, yeah. After telling my story, I was like, yeah, what the hell was I thinking? I don't know what the hell. Kind of became a past tense. Past more and more. Like, what the hell was I thinking when I thought nothing was real and all this bullshit thoughts? And she was like, yeah, you know what? That's the approach I needed. There was another therapist. Another therapist was no good for me. He just said, try to turn your attention to something else. Try to turn your... I'm like, but I can't. I'm like, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. That is very helpful. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, so you find the right person. That helps too. But I'll tell you what, though. When I found the right psychiatrist, he told me right away, you need medicine. Get you a therapist. He gave me some recommendations for a therapist. We said, right now, first allow this medicine to work so then you could receive the therapy the right way. Like maybe a month later, you know, or 2 months later. But first, he had to get my mind straight. That's how messed up I was. So his recommendation right away was medicine. That's a little, and for me it was that I needed something to get things straight. Hey guys, I moved it inside. I moved myself inside because I wanted to just sum it all up because I was in deep thought and the sun was bothering me. I'm tired. I didn't even have my coffee yet. No coffee, no nothing yet. That's okay. Yeah, it's been a trip. It's been a trip because even when I had the derealization and depersonalization, believe it or not, you could get a little joy out of it if you realize, you know, you're in a creative mode. You might even have more confidence than you usually have, maybe. I mean, it gave me more confidence in a way at the time when I had it because I was like, if I'm going through this, I might as well just speak my mind while I'm at it. No, don't get yourself in trouble, but like I said, my profession in physical education and mental health awareness, quite a bit of that have brought me to this point where I'm sharing more and more of my knowledge with an audience on YouTube. So I hope you enjoy these videos. Subscribe if they're going to help you. That's the point. Well, the story goes that I tapered off the meds with the psychiatrist safely. He tapered me off because I was feeling that my nervous system cooled down, and now the meds were just making me tired because of all down. The cool down period is when the medicine helped to the point where you have an option to stay on a lower dose. Anyway, enjoy life, do fun things. As you can see, I have a fun-filled life because I enjoy light thinking now and light stuff, and arcades is one. Games, enjoy. Workout, exercise. I learned from the whole experience not to go that deep anymore because it hurts. Remember that. Keep it light and sweet. Subscribe.